Today I messed up by taking my boyfriend to a strip club. This happened Saturday and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. My boyfriend and I took a trip out of town. We had heard about a bar in the city that has strippers every other weekend, so we decided to check it out. The strippers were okay for the most part, but there was one girl that stood out from the rest. She had long hair, a gorgeous smile, and a body like a video vixen. She was also a really good dancer. Her acrobatics were impressive. My boyfriend was obviously smitten. I just sat back and watched him watching her. It was quite amusing. She must have noticed him watching her too, because a few minutes later, my boyfriend was with her at the bar buying drinks. She also came back with him to our table. This girl is very sweet and we all end up talking about a number of things. A song comes on that she likes and she starts dancing. She invites me to dance with her but I politely decline and she dances with my boyfriend. I should mention that this is the third time they've danced together that night, not a paid lap dance, but dancing like you would at a party. She asked us a few more questions. It became very clear that had we wanted, we could have taken her home with us. Once the stripper and my boyfriend sat back at the table, she looks at me and tells me that I look familiar. She asks me if my name was Zola and I tell her no. They call her back to the stage and she goes up to perform. My boyfriend and I quickly discuss the possibility of exchanging info with her, at her request, before he follows her to the stage. I start watching her more closely, then the screw-up happens. You see, I did in fact know this girl. I was her therapist for over a year when she was barely a teenager. I knew all about her abusive family, history of trauma, juvenile record, etc. I had done a full psychological assessment on her at one point. I even kept up with her a little bit after graduation. The worst part is that once I worked out the timeline, I realized that this presently made her only 21 or 22 years old. Needless to say, we got out of there fast. I had to pull over on the way home to collect myself. My boyfriend thought it was pretty funny, but to be honest, I've been having nightmares about this for the past few days. I mean, what are the odds of running into a former client in a different city at a strip club? Too long. Didn't read. Today I messed up by planning to bring home a stripper, not knowing that I used to be her therapist when she was a child. Today I messed up by falling asleep at my dentist appointment, sucking the dental student's finger, moaned my ex's name, swallowed fluoride, then made an inappropriate joke. Here is an awkward today I messed up. I just wrapped up a 48-hour work week. Went to sleep at 3 a.m., got woken up at 4:30 by an alarm I forgot to turn off. Then woken up again at 6:30 by a call from my boss. I couldn't fall back asleep, so I just accepted my sleep-deprived state. Went to my dentist appointment and ended up falling asleep. I guess the student was pointing at a tooth or something, because I half woke up and sucked his finger, then said I'm trying to sleep. Realized what happened, then apologized. To add to awkwardness, the student has the same name as my ex. The student awkwardly said it's okay, then continued, as the dentist was trying not to laugh. 5 minutes later I was given fluoride and told to swish it around. Still half asleep, I took it like a shot and swallowed it. The dentist asked, "Did you just swallow that?" Now most people would say yes or "Oh my God, I wasn't thinking." But I think we've established I'm not most people. With a deadpan expression I said, "Maybe if I did this kind of stuff to my ex instead of you two, he wouldn't be my ex." Awkward, right? But wait, there's more. I finger-gunned after I said that. Too long. Didn't read. Fell asleep at my dentist appointment, woke up sucking a dental student figure while saying my ex's name, which was the same as his, taking fluoride like a shot, then saying if I did this kind of stuff to me ex instead of you two, he might not be an ex. Then I did finger guns. Today I messed up by putting a drink in ice. I still can't stop laughing at what I did and I'm never going to live it down. My fiancé and I were getting ready for work and we were running low on time, so he said, "Crap, there's no Monsters in the fridge, can you put a Monster in ice for me?" So I did. Except, he meant, "Could you pour the Monster into a cup with ice?" And what I understood for some stupid reason was to take the can and put it in a container filled with ice and water. But I didn't want to pull down a big bowl to fill up, so I grabbed a red Solo cup and put ice in the bottom and a bit of water to fill the sides and sat the can in it. It's sticking out the top by like 5 inches and I'm here thinking to myself, this is what he asked, but it seems weird and ineffective. Why didn't he ask me to put it in the freezer? Or does this work faster because of the water? And before I could ask, he yells from the other room, don't overfill it because it won't all fit in the cup. So I'm like, oh, that makes sense. So I dumped a little of the water level out and went about getting ready for work. I come into the kitchen and he's just mopping up water that's all over the counter and laughing like, why? And he's like, I spilled it trying to pull it out, and we only have a few minutes. This is literally all I asked you to do. And he poured the monster into the cup and added ice. And I'm like, yeah. That makes a lot more sense now. Too long. Didn't read. I put a can into a shallow cup of ice water and left it there when I was supposed to pour it into a cup of ice.